I thought life would finally quiet down after my daughter moved out. She was 21, full of fire, and determined to start her own life with her friends in the city. The house felt emptier, quieter, almost too quiet. But then, strangely enough, her boyfriend, Daniel, didn't seem to vanish with her. At first, it was little things. I'd find his jacket hanging over the back of the chair in the kitchen, his shoes by the door. Sometimes I'd wake up in the morning and hear the faint sound of the TV downstairs, only to realize Daniel had fallen asleep on the couch. I thought it was odd, but I brushed it off. Maybe he was just helping my daughter with the move. Maybe he was hanging around until she settled in. But the weeks stretched into months, and Daniel never really left. I wasn't sure how to address it. He was polite, respectful, always offering to help around the house, fixing a leaky faucet, carrying groceries, mowing the lawn. He wasn't intrusive, but his presence was constant. One night, I finally asked, "Daniel, why are you still here? Shouldn't you be with Emily in the city?" He hesitated. His eyes lowered, and he gave a faint, almost forced smile. "Emily and I were taking a break," he said quietly. "She wanted space." I froze. My daughter never mentioned that. She had only told me she was settling in fine. From that moment on, I started watching Daniel more closely. He was always there. If I went to the garden, he'd appear a moment later, offering to carry the watering can. If I sat to read in the living room, he'd quietly sit on the other couch, not speaking but watching. At night, I sometimes heard faint footsteps in the hallway outside my bedroom. I'd open the door quickly, but the hall would be empty. And then came the phone call. It was late, past midnight, when my daughter's number lit up my phone. I answered immediately. Her voice was sharp, panicked. Something about the way he said it unsettled me. "Mom, don't trust Daniel. He's not who you think he is." Before I could reply, the line cut. I sat there in the darkness, phone pressed against my ear, my heart thundering. What did she mean? The next morning, Daniel was in the kitchen, making coffee as if nothing had happened. "You look tired," he said casually. I forced a smile. Couldn't sleep. His eyes lingered on me a second too long. "You should rest more. You need your strength." It wasn't the words themselves that chilled me. It was the way he said them, like he knew something I didn't. That day, I decided to dig. I went into the guest room where Daniel had been staying. His backpack sat in the corner, half-zipped. I hesitated, then unzipped it fully. Inside were folded clothes and a stack of photographs. Not of Emily, of me. Candid shots, taken without my knowledge. Me in the garden, me cooking in the kitchen, me asleep on the couch. My breath caught in my throat. I shoved everything back quickly when I heard footsteps on the stairs. The door creaked open, and Daniel's voice slid into the room. Looking for something? I turned, forcing a laugh. "Just tidying up." His smile didn't reach his eyes. "Good," he said softly. "I like it when things are in order." That night, I locked my bedroom door for the first time in years. But locks can only do so much. At 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of scratching. Slow, steady, right outside my door. Then silence. And then a whisper. "Why are you shutting me out?" My blood ran cold. I sat frozen, staring at the door until the whisper faded away. Something about the way he said it unsettled me. The next morning, Daniel acted normal again. Too normal, as if the night hadn't happened. He hummed while he fixed a loose cabinet hinge, asked me about my day, even offered to cook dinner. But every smile, every word, felt like a mask stretched too tight over something darker. I decided to call Emily. When she answered, her voice was shaky. "Mom, I didn't want to scare you, but Daniel, he's been following you. Even before we started dating. He used me to get close to you." My stomach dropped. "What are you talking about?" "I found pictures of you. Old ones. He's obsessed, Mom. Please, you need to get away." I hung up, my hands trembling. I turned slowly. Daniel was standing in the doorway. "How much did you hear?" I whispered. His smile widened, slow and deliberate. "Enough." The next days blurred into a twisted game. Daniel never confronted me outright, but his presence became suffocating. He'd leave little signs. A photo of me slipped under my door, my favorite mug moved from the cabinet, the faint smell of his cologne in the hallway at night. It was as if he wanted me to know he was watching. Always watching. I couldn't call the police. not without proof that would hold. And Daniel was careful, calculated. So I played along, pretended I didn't know, pretended I wasn't terrified. But inside, I was counting down, planning, waiting for the right moment. That moment came one stormy night. The power flickered and went out. The house plunged into darkness. I lit a candle, my heart racing. Somewhere in the shadows, I knew Daniel was watching. And then, his voice, low and calm, drifted through the darkness. You don't have to be afraid of me. I'll take care of you, better than anyone else ever has. I gripped the candle tighter. Daniel, please. You need help. He stepped closer, the flickering light revealing his eyes. Wild, desperate, hungry. No, he whispered. I just need you. What happened next felt like instinct. I threw the candle at him, flames scattering, and ran. Down the hallway, through the kitchen, out into the storm. Rain soaked me instantly, but I didn't stop. I ran to the neighbor's house, pounding on the door until they let me in. By the time the police arrived, Daniel was gone. All that remained were the photographs. Dozens of them, hidden throughout the house. Every corner of my life documented. Every private moment stolen. It's been months since then. My daughter came home for a while, afraid to leave me alone. The locks have been changed, cameras installed. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear the faintest sound. A whisper against the window, a creak on the porch. And I wonder, did Daniel ever really leave? Or is he still out there, watching, waiting for the moment I let my guard down?